Well, howdy there, Space Monkeys. Welcome to Political Fight Club. I'm Robert Durden, and I bring you good news. Every once in a while, I like to bring you guys good news. So, Joe Manchin, his seat is starting to heat up. He's not quite in the hot seat yet, but I think everybody, including a lot of other neoliberals, are starting to get fed up with his obstructionism. And the Poor People's Campaign in West Virginia is now going to march on his office this Monday. So Joe Manchin is obstructing everything in the Senate. He's making sure that we can't go through budget reconciliation and basically forcing us to work with Republicans who have no intention of working with us. He's the reason that we are gridlocked in the Senate, and Joe Biden isn't strong-arming him to do anything different. So people are fed up with it. He's against the $15 minimum wage and actually shot it down with his vote. He's against ending the filibuster. He's against the For the People Act, which is... that's HR 1 that we talked about, guys. It cleans up our elections by doing automatic voter registration and making gerrymandering illegal and a bunch of other things that are good. It does have a poison pill in it for a Green Party, but it's still overall a good bill. And he's, I think, the lone holdout, the lone person in the Democratic Party who has not co-sponsored the bill. So people are fed up with his shit. And here's what's happening. They're actually going to march on his office on Monday. So this is awesome. If you guys know William J. Barber, Dr. Reverend William J. Barber II, he is a higher up in the Poor People's Campaign, and he is the one orchestrating this, and there's no one better to do so. Let me read to you from Common Dreams. Outraged by Joe Manchin's obstruction of Democratic efforts to protect and expand voting rights and end the Senate filibuster, the faith-led Poor People's Campaign has announced it will lead a Moral Monday demonstration in the West Virginia senator's home state next week. Quote, "It's time to march on his office," Reverend Dr. William J. Barber II, co-chair of the Poor People's Campaign, said of Manchin, the Senate's most conservative Democrat. "It's time for the people of all differences to stand together and against him. We call it from the hollers in the mountains to the hood." And then they go on to say here, summing up what Manchin's been doing, Manchin's purported pursuit of bipartisan solutions, efforts opponents argue will bear little fruit with Republican colleagues led by Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, the self-proclaimed Grim Reaper, has rankled progressives. He is the sole Senate Democrat to refuse to co-sponsor the For the People Act, a landmark bill to expand and protect voting rights that is supported by 79% of likely West Virginia voters. Manchin also stands staunchly opposed to ending the filibuster, a weapon that has historically been used to torpedo civil and voting rights legislation. So this makes me happy that they're going to march on him. I'm not sure how effective it'll be, but this is what we need to do. More of this. We have to make him fear for his job, and he doesn't seem to, at least right now, he doesn't seem to care, which means we're not doing enough. So I'm going to keep yelling to the rooftops about how horrible he is, and I'm going to keep explaining to everybody as best I can why he is the one thing standing in the way, other than Joe Biden, of getting us everything that we want in the upcoming infrastructure bill and the jobs plan that Biden's trying to push. Manchin is instrumental in gridlocking us and making it so that we have to work with Republicans who have no intention of working with us. So we'll just end up with a bill that was crafted by Republicans. Biden will pass it, and it'll be because of Joe Manchin, who is essentially a Republican who wears a blue tie to work. So I'm going to read one more thing to you here. On Tuesday, Manchin held what he called a productive meeting with civil rights leaders, while the black leaders who included NAACP President and CEO Derek Johnson, National Urban League President Mark Morial, and Reverend Al Sharpton stressed the importance of passing legislation to strengthen voting rights. Manchin left the meeting unmoved in his opposition to the For the People Act. So, he's really not listening to people that are even, powerful black people that are in his ear. It means that we need to hit the streets. And we should be doing this relentlessly, making Joe Manchin fear for his career and worse. Because that's the only way we're going to sway him, and it's the only way we're going to get some of these things passed. And it's the only way we're going to get anything passed that isn't essentially just Republican legislation that Joe Biden passes. Manchin must feel the heat. So kudos to the Poor People's Campaign and Dr. Reverend William J. Barber. Go out there and join them. If you're in West Virginia, please go join them. The more people they have out to this march, the more Manchin will fear for his career. And like it said here, guys, like 79% of the people in West Virginia who are likely voters are for the For the People Act. So he's vehemently against what his constituents are asking him to do, and he's standing in the way of everything that Democrats are supposed to be for. So he's really not a Democrat. He's a Republican who acts like a Democrat, has a D next to his name. But I mean, he voted with Trump 50 to 60% of the time when he was in office. So let's get him on the right side of this by scaring the shit out of him. And if he doesn't switch sides, and if he doesn't vote correct, and he keeps obstructing, let's get him out of there. Vote him out. Vote him out. 4 more years. Paula Jean Swearengin could run again, and we should all vote for her. And then we don't have to worry about Manchin anymore. But like I said, when the day that Joe took office, Joe Biden, that is, the first thing I knew he would do is he would go down to Joe Manchin's office and say, "Listen, buddy, you're going to be a scapegoat for a while. And this is exactly what Joe Manchin has become recently. He's the scapegoat that everybody's going to blame." This is why I said that everybody's going to end up blaming him, is because eventually people become wise to your stupid-ass game where he acts like he's the only adult in the room, and he's being bipartisan and being mature, and that's why I want to get Republican support. Bullshit, you're obstructing. You're obstructing on purpose. You won't end the filibuster, and you say you won't vote with the Democrats unless they go get Republican support, so you've gridlocked us on purpose so that you can help out your friends, the Republicans. He's not really a Democrat. We should really stop calling him that. The Republicans really have a 51-49 advantage in the Senate because they really have Joe Manchin in their pocket. So keep fighting the good fight out there, guys. My best of luck to the Poor People's Campaign and their march on June 14th. Good luck, guys.